In the summer of 1518, a strange and terrifying phenomenon swept through the city of Strasbourg, leaving a trail of death and destruction in its wake. It was known as the Dancing Plague, a bizarre epidemic that would claim the lives of hundreds of people. The dancers, mostly women, would gather in the streets and dance uncontrollably for days, even weeks, without rest or respite. The cause of this phenomenon remains a mystery to this day, but one thing is certain: it was a tragedy that would haunt the city of Strasbourg for centuries to come. The first reports of the dancing plague emerged in July 1518, when a lone woman began dancing in the streets of Strasbourg. She was soon joined by others, and before long, the streets were filled with people dancing uncontrollably. The dancers were mostly women, but men and children also participated. They would dance for hours, even days, without rest or respite, until they collapsed from exhaustion or died from heart attacks, strokes, and other ailments. There are many theories behind the dancing plague, but the most popular one is that it was caused by stress-induced mass hysteria. This theory suggests that the dancers were under a great deal of stress and anxiety, which was triggered by the social and economic conditions of the time. Other theories include ergot poisoning, which was caused by eating bread contaminated with ergot, a fungus that grows on rye. However, these theories are not mutually exclusive, and it is possible that the dancing plague was caused by a combination of factors. Ergot poisoning is a theory that has gained significant attention in recent years. Ergot is a fungus that grows on rye, and it can cause a range of symptoms, including hallucinations, convulsions, and even death. It is possible that the dancers were eating bread contaminated with ergot, which triggered the dancing plague. However, this theory is not without its critics, and some historians argue that it is not supported by sufficient evidence. The social and economic conditions of Strasbourg in 1518 were dire. The city was experiencing a period of significant poverty, famine, and disease, which created a sense of desperation and hopelessness among the population. It is possible that these conditions contributed to the stress and anxiety that triggered the dancing plague. The dancers may have seen dancing as a way to escape their troubles, or to find solace in a world that seemed to be falling apart. The authorities in Strasbourg were initially baffled by the dancing plague, and they did not know how to respond. They tried to intervene, but their efforts were largely unsuccessful. The dancers were too numerous, and they were too caught up in their dancing to listen to reason. The authorities eventually gave up, and they let the dancers continue, hoping that they would eventually tire themselves out. The consequences of the dancing plague were severe. Hundreds of people died, and many more were left injured or traumatized. The city of Strasbourg was left to pick up the pieces, and it would take years for the city to recover from the trauma of the dancing plague. The dancers themselves were left to deal with the physical and emotional scars of their experience, and many of them would never be the same again. The dancing plague of 1518 has left a lasting legacy in the city of Strasbourg. It is remembered as a time of great tragedy and upheaval, and it has become a part of the city's folklore. The dancing plague has also been the subject of numerous books, articles, and documentaries, and it continues to fascinate people to this day. It is a reminder of the power of human psychology, and the importance of understanding the social and economic conditions that shape our behavior. The dancing plague of 1518 was not an isolated incident. There were other dancing plagues that occurred in Europe during the Middle Ages, and they share many similarities with the Strasbourg outbreak. These dancing plagues were often triggered by similar social and economic conditions, and they were characterized by the same sense of desperation and hopelessness. They are a reminder that the dancing plague was not a unique event, but rather part of a larger pattern of behavior that was prevalent during this time period. There is ongoing debate among historians over the number of deaths that occurred during the dancing plague. Some estimates put the number of deaths at around 50, while others claim that it was much higher, possibly even in the hundreds. The exact number of deaths may never be known, but it is clear that the dancing plague was a devastating event that had a profound impact on the city of Strasbourg. The Dancing Plague of 1518 offers many lessons for modern society. It highlights the importance of understanding the social and economic conditions that shape our behavior, and the need for effective interventions to prevent similar outbreaks from occurring. It also reminds us of the power of human psychology, and the importance of addressing the underlying causes of stress and anxiety in our communities. In conclusion, the Dancing Plague of 1518 was a bizarre and tragic event that continues to fascinate people to this day. It is a reminder of the power of human psychology, and the importance of understanding the social and economic conditions that shape our behavior. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more real mysteries and discoveries.